I'll come back in and check on it just a little bit. Hello. What is up? So it has been a good week so far. Thursday coming at you. Me and Matt were talking today. I was asking him some questions about my business and I like to lean. Okay, let me not lie. I typically avoid leaning on him for advice because self-pride, don't want to talk about problems, like all those things. But I was leaning into my husband today for advice and just talking about some of the things that I have overcame when it comes to building my business, being an entrepreneur, working for myself, and a lot of the skills and mindsets that I have being in my business, I've either learned them or they were already kind of natured in me, but I had to have an aha moment that not everybody has these kinds of mindsets and understandings, but I think it's super valuable to talk about these things, like the elephants in the room that people can be fearful of or be scared of when they're going into working for themselves, being in their own business, selling things, having a product, So I think this can be really valuable information. And if you know someone who's in business for themselves or maybe recently started in business for themselves, this is going to be really good for them. You may want to tag them in this video, you can share it. It should be public where you could send it in Messenger and things like that. But I titled this 50% of women in sales quit after their first no. And when I heard that statistic, I was blown away that 50% of women who start in sales, whether that's sales in retail, whether that's sales working for themselves, doing direct sales, doing marketing, or even in a business like I have, right? They come in and they give up. 50% of women will give up after the first time that they hear a no. And it just blows my mind, but I know that it's true because I'm trying to get something to pop my phone out of this case because the quality is just driving me bananas. So y'all just bear with me for a quick hot second. This may not be really cute. I'm gonna pull my phone out of the case. Okay. All right, I'm here. Oh my God, that's so much better. Holy cow, the quality is so much better. You don't realize what a little clear screen on your phone, how much it makes the quality bad. Anyway, so 50% of women who are in sales will give up after the very first time that they hear the word no. You guys, I cannot even tell you how many times I have heard no in my business. I ask people on a daily basis about hearing about the products that I offer, being a part of our business, doing, I have heard no so many times. But imagine if I would have given up the very first time somebody told me no. But what's interesting is when I came into my business, I was not even concerned if somebody told me no. It really didn't faze me. And even up to this day, it's no sweat off my back if someone tells me no. Sometimes I over question if I offended somebody or something, but at the end of the day, it does not affect me or make me feel bad, or do I feel like I'm doing something wrong if somebody tells me no, they're not interested. But 50% of women who start in sales will completely quit after they hear after they hear someone tell them no. They will completely quit on what they started for. So I just want to let's put this into some perspective. So if you go to a restaurant and I did a post about this not too long ago. If you go sit at a restaurant and you're ordering dinner with the waitress and the waitress asked if you want dessert after your meal and you say no, that waitress is not going to quit her job and not come back tomorrow just because you told her no that you don't want dessert. It's her job to offer it. And if you're selling a product, and if maybe that product's yourself, maybe you're a photographer, maybe you're an advisor, maybe you are going into social media marketing where you're doing freelance projects, maybe you're a makeup artist, maybe you're a hairstylist, whatever you're doing that you're selling yourself. Sometimes products are people, right? whatever you're doing that you're selling yourself, you're offering something and it's your job to offer. But it's not up to you if someone says yes or no. And the thing is like, if we give up when someone says no when someone says no to what we're offering, if we give up, we're never going to get to the people for the yeses. Like, you will never get your ideal client. You will never get your ideal team member. You will never get your new business partner. You will never get your next investor if you stop the first time you hear the word no. So I just want to let you know in advance, if you are in sales, if you are selling yourself, selling a product, in business for yourself, maybe you're just started in your business, maybe not in my company, maybe you started with direct sales in any company, you're going to hear no. And there's not any way to avoid it, because it's consumption. Like, either someone wants what you're offering or they don't. But you won't know unless you ask. So going back to that waitress is going to get a tip based off of a percentage of what you order. If you order the dessert, you have a higher check value, and that waitress could get a higher tip count, right? But if she doesn't ask, she's not going to get the upsell ever. It's very similar to when I was working in the salon. If I offered someone a deep conditioning treatment, if I offered them to get a blow dry and style with their service, that made their ticket price higher, which increased the value of my productivity. If I never ask, the answer is always going to be no. But just because someone said no to a deep conditioning treatment, they're not saying no to me. They're saying no, they don't want the service or the product. And that's on them. So don't be one of those people that quits because someone tells you no. I understand that being rejected is hard to hear, but are we taking it so personally that whoever said no to you hates you? No, they just maybe aren't interested right now in what you're offering. But the thing is, it takes the average person 7 to 20 times of hearing something before a sale is ever initiated. I'm going to say that again. It takes the average person 7 to 20 times of hearing something before the sale process is ever initiated. So if I connect with someone about, say they comment on my post about one of my coffee products, and I reach out to them with information, I know that it's going to take an average of 7 to 20 times of connecting with somebody just based off statistic. 7 to 20 times. So if they tell me, no, not right now, the first time, but they're interested, that's why we connected, I'm not going to cancel myself out of the game because I've already set the standard to 7 to 20 times of connection before the process can even be initiated, right? So if you're already setting your standard at, it's going to take me a couple connections with this person. Maybe I'll have to follow through with that. Maybe I'll have to show up more in my page, in my stories, showing that I'm consistently talking about what I'm representing with them. If you already set that standard to it, if someone does jump the gun and get with you on the first contact, you're feeling like, okay, I kind of exceeded that average pace, but you're preparing yourself going in. And maybe we can better equip ourselves. So you're starting sales, you're starting in a business for yourself, and you're afraid of hearing the word no or being rejected. Sister, let me lovingly tell you, you're not going to avoid it. Children here, I think I looked up the statistic the other day, and children on average hear the word no over 100 times a day in their first year. And let me tell you, I tell my daughter no on things all the time, and for some reason she still does it. Because the fear is not there. There's no fear, right? But when we become adults, we have all this fear that is embedded in us from either things people have said, things we have experienced. We will avoid the fear at all cost, when really the dance between like the risk and the action versus the comfort of, oh, I don't want to do that because I might get rejected. Like that's the side of the dance where you're never going to get results. You're never going to get more. And like going back to people are going to say no or say yes. That's up to them. And something else that I think is important too is nobody is entitled to purchase from you. And I know that sounds like kind of straight up, but nobody's entitled to it. Like you get it's up to you as the person who's offering the product, offering the service, to stick with it, to show up, to bring value, to ask the question. You know, if you walk into a store and not a single sales rep who was in that store came up and approached you to ask if you needed help, and you've never been in the store before in your life, you'd probably look around a little bit lost and you'd think, wow, the associates of this store really don't care about my business, right? But when someone goes out of their way to ask, it plants that idea with them. So in business like this, I know that there's people who are going to be like, oh, don't just straight up message people. Like, why would you just message people and ask them? You guys, I am a part of the business that I'm in because somebody asked me. I have incredible customers, incredible team members because I asked somebody, right? We cannot expect that anybody is just going to come to us. Ask and you shall receive. You get what you ask for. So at the end of the lump sum of what I wanted to say is you cannot avoid being told no. Like if you're going in business for yourself, you're doing something for yourself and you're offering a service, a product from you, whether that's a product you're selling, a service that you're offering, doing, bringing in clients, bringing in business, you cannot avoid hearing no. And it should not be, even though it should not be what deters you to determine if you should move forward or not. Because everybody hears no. Everybody hears no. So, knowing that I've been in business for myself for going on a little bit over 5 years. And I can't even tell you how many times I get told no. Like I connect with people on a daily basis every single day. Do I get told no daily? Yeah, I do. But I don't take it like, no, you're awful, leave me alone. I take it as no, just I'm not interested. And that's not something I'm holding over anybody. I don't think they're bad people for telling me no. I don't feel bad for someone telling me no because I know that if I would have never asked them, it would have been a no automatically if I didn't ask. And if I don't ask them, someone else is going to come along and ask them, right? And I'm so grateful for all of my incredible customers and the people who are a part of our business. But the thing is majority of the people that I've been blessed to have as a part of our business are people that I've intentionally asked. And I said, hey, would you be interested in trying something? Would you care to share with me your goals, right? And that is because you ask. So if you ask, you never get. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. And just equip yourself. Equip your tool belt that you're not going to be able to avoid it. It's going to happen. If you're afraid of being rejected, what are you doing? Because I don't know, people have something to say about everything. You can't just sit in fear of being rejected. Because no one is going to be always approved of always, right? No excuses. And we have to allow ourselves the ability to try, not I'm only going to try if I'm approved of. Because if I would have stopped after the first time I heard no, I would have gave up minute 5, 5 minutes. I would have just called it quits after 5 minutes if I would have been a part of that 50% that gives up after they hear their first no. And isn't that sad? It's sad to me a little bit that, and I'm grateful that I didn't have that mindset coming in that I didn't think everyone in the world was going to support me, but I knew I was willing to ask. I was willing to ask, right? So if you're in business for yourself or you're thinking of going in business for yourself, go ahead and equip your tool belt. Equip your pocket full of sunshine, that no is not scary. No is nothing that I take personal. No is just an option. It's either a yes or it's a no. And that no is just going to lead you to a yes. So don't be that 50%. Go for it for yourself. And don't throw in the towel just because someone tells you no. And truthfully, it typically means not right now. Bye, you guys.